Hey y'all, welcome to Big Joe and Malia's World. Well, I'm back in the kitchen today. It's been a long time since I made a cooking video, but today I'm making something new, something I haven't tried before. Looking forward to it. You know, everybody loves my banana pudding. I'm not making that though. Maybe next time, but this time I'm making banana pudding brownies. Welcome to Big Joe and Malia's World,
where we keep it hillbilly fabulous. Yee yee!
Okay, I will include all the ingredients and the instructions in the description on this video. Look at all this stuff. Okay, for the filling, you need milk, cream cheese, sugar, banana extract, eggs, and vanilla pudding. Now, I use French vanilla pudding. It's instant. The recipe does just call for vanilla pudding, but I like French vanilla better, so you can use either one. For the brownie part, you need melted butter, sugar, brown sugar, flour, eggs, salt, baking powder, and vanilla extract. And of course, you're going to need a few vanilla wafers at the end. So let's get started. All right, so the first thing we're going to do, we're going to make the brownie base. Actually, this is more of a blondie, I guess you could say, because there's not any chocolate in it. You do want a 9 by 13 pan, and you do want to line the pan with parchment paper. It's just going to be easy to get them out when they're done. So first thing we're going to do, we're going to take the butter, melted butter, and the sugar, and the eggs. Now this recipe, like I said, I'll include all the ingredients at the end. But you have to, this calls for an extra egg yolk. So, I'm going to use my paddle attachment and just kind of cream these together. It just takes a minute. You want to make sure that it's all incorporated really well and that the egg yolks are broken up. Just takes a minute. It kind of gets a little glossy looking. All right. Next thing we're going to do, we're going to add the brown sugar. All the brown sugar. It's quite a bit. This makes quite a bit of blondie batter. And it's thick. Already it's thick. All right. Now we're going to put our vanilla. Give that a little stir with the vanilla. Okay, while you've got this on low speed, I'm going to put the flour in just a little at a time. All right, we got all the flour in. We're going to let that mix for just a minute. And we're going to add the baking powder and the salt. Now, if you are using self-rising flour, omit the baking powder and the salt. Only use the baking powder and salt if you are using all-purpose flour, which is what I used today. All right. It looks like cookie dough batter. It really does. It looks just like you're making chocolate chip cookies or something like that. It's kind of along those same lines. It really is. All right, I'm going to scrape this paddle down pretty good. And I'm telling you, it is thick, but it smells so good. All right. I'm going to dump all of this into my prepared pan here. Oh, and it's so thick. It's hard to scrape out of the bottom. It smells good. Okay. Now, you can take your spoon or a spatula, whatever you've got, or you can use your hands. You know, you always want to wash your hands before you cook. So I am going to use my hands. And your hands won't stick. There's so much butter in here, it's not going to stick. If it does, you can put a little bit of flour on your hands. Okay. Ugh. And I'm telling you, you know, when I was looking at this recipe, I noticed how long that it took to cook, and I thought, man, that must be some thick brownies, and it certainly is. That's why it takes so long, because it does. It is really thick. All right, make sure you get along the sides really well, and the corners really well, because you don't want, you know, you want to keep this as even as possible, because you don't want any thick spots in it, because it will not cook even if you do that. Okay, all done with that part. Now what I'm going to do next, I'm going to make the filling. I have an extra bowl here, mixer bowl. Now I'm actually going to use my whisk attachment this time, because you don't want any lumps in the filling. So we're going to sit this aside. I'm going to gather up all my ingredients for my filling. I'm going to start with the cream cheese. Now, room temperature, of course, because if you don't have it room temperature, it's just not going to do it. It won't do it. It'll be lumpy. It just won't be good. Stir that around a minute. Going to add some eggs. And some sugar. Sounds like my cat's just knocked something down. Of course. Add the vanilla pudding. Like I said, this is French vanilla. If you want to use regular vanilla, you certainly can. Just make sure that it's instant. Stir this up for just a second. Gonna add the milk and the banana extract. Now it does take quite a bit of banana extract, surprisingly. It took like 2 tablespoons. It was a lot. And we're going to set this on about a medium-low, medium speed for just a minute, and we're going to let this mix until it's not limp anymore, but I'll be right back. Okay, once the filling is done, here's what it looks like. Isn't it beautiful? It took about 5 minutes, didn't it? I had to leave the mixer on for about 5 minutes, and I had to go back and scrape the bottom with my spatula a couple of times, but it took a minute, but it turned out really good and thick, as you can see. So I'm going to pour this right on the blondie part. I'm going to take my spatula, and I'm just going to spread it out end to end. And make sure you get it as evenly as possible, because this has to bake as well. I'm glad I found this recipe. I know Big Joe's probably glad too, because we are banana pudding eaters. And everybody that visits us likes banana pudding like stuff. So I'd say old Otis will be wanting these too, won't he? Otis, if you're watching, this is what you're in for when you come to Tennessee. All right. Beautiful. Okay. Before you put it in the oven, you're going to take some vanilla wafers. It actually calls for 24. So what we're going to do, we're just going to put them in rows. Voila, there's what it looks like. It's beautiful. All right, so now you gotta bake it. So we're gonna put this in a preheated 350-degree oven for 45 minutes. And I'll be back. Here is the banana pudding brownies right out of the oven. God, they smell good. They're super hot, so I'm gonna let them cool for just a few minutes and we'll let Big Joe do the taste test. Okay, Big Joe with the taste test. Got his little brownie there. They smell good, don't they? Can you smell them? Joe's been kind of sickly. He's been sickly for a week or so. You can smell a little bit. He lost his taste and smell.
So hot.
Good.
They're good. I can taste that. That gets Big Joe.
Well, that's it for the banana pudding brownies. I will include all the ingredients and the instructions in the description on this video. They're really good. They really are. I was kind of surprised. It took some doing. It took a long time to cook, but it was worth it. So if you try this recipe, please let me know in the comments. I'd love to know how you like all our recipes. And as always, we want to thank you for allowing a little bit of Big Joe Malia's world into your world. We'll see you soon, guys.